Wrestling, we already know most of these things, but two types of stance. What are they? We got square stance and we got a stagger stance. Okay, so if you can see this cross I'm making, what it does is it makes 4 squares. Okay, so what I'll do with my kids sometimes is I'll say, okay, get in a square stance, and then I'll ask them, where are you weak at? Where are you vulnerable? And what I tell them is, you're weaker and vulnerable forward and backwards whenever my feet are square right here. And then you get them in a stagger stance, you get them in each one of these boxes right here, and then you say, okay, now where am I vulnerable at? And you tell them, you're vulnerable over here in this box, and you're over here back in this box. And the main reasons why, you haven't figured it out by now, is your post. You have a good stance is about stability. So what stability means is you got your center of gravity, aka your weight, and then you got your bases of support, or your posts. People call them posts in wrestling. So on my feet, my 2 posts are my legs. So a wide base of support, basis of support, and a low center of gravity increases your stability. So if I got a skinny basis of support and a tall center of gravity, I'm less stable. So all those things have to do with balance. So I learned some of this stuff actually learning and reading martial arts. There's a thing out there called the 8 points of balance, which is basically like the directions on a compass. You got north, south, west, east, northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast. And so the reason why these things are important, I'm getting to it, is when you're telling these kids, when they look at their opponent, okay, so watch this. Your opponent steps up to the line. Where is he weak at? You automatically know right now just by how he's set. Where's my opponent weak at? You start understanding and learning and looking at these things while you're wrestling, and you just know. You know where to push him. You know where to pull him, because you know how to get him off balance. And so if you don't understand some of these things like hand fighting, that type of stuff, it's not going to make sense to you, because you're just going to be out there billy clubbing people when the whole point of it is to push and pull them off balance. So a lot of that comes from your footwork, and